What is calisthenics and how do you start? Well, calisthenics is a goal-oriented skill progression of various exercises. Instead of merely progressing from one level of weight to another like you do at the gym, you're progressing through levels of skill to master your body weight. So what are the goals of calisthenics? There can be a large list of goals, but I want today to chop it down to the bitter elements.
Calisthenics gives tendon strength, muscle strength, balance strength, and flexibility.
Well, that is still a lot to cover, but the glory of calisthenics is that because it utilizes your entire body, it will also be utilizing all of these factors.
When you do a handstand, you stretch and use tendon strength on wrists and elbows. Your shoulders are getting stretched and the muscles strengthened, and obviously balance is being applied. So you see that one calisthenics exercise can apply all of the essential elements of calisthenics.
Now we are going to divide things into even more small, manageable factors.
We have static calisthenics, and we have dynamic calisthenics.
Now these fundamentals we can work with. We cannot effectively divide things any smaller. These two are the basic categories of calisthenics. And an important note is that though they work together in many ways, you will have to hyper-focus on one or the other to achieve one or the other. Of course, some rules are made to be broken, but these general principles will help us at least for the beginning.
What I mean is if you want a muscle up, it helps to hang on the bar, use a static exercise, build grip strength. But a muscle up is not hanging on the bar, it's a dynamic compound movement of pull-ups and dips, plus crazy skill and coordination. And the same with a handstand. It would help to build handstand strength by doing pike push-ups. But unless you hyper-focus on wall toe taps in the full handstand, you will never get it with just the pike push-ups.
I now address complete beginners. Maybe you have heard of calisthenics and want to get started, but you can't do one rep of push-ups or pull-ups or anything. The first goal for you is that you will master some beginner static exercises. So the beginner static strength conditioning is to work on basic push and pull.
I want to make a note here that if you are a complete beginner, I would also stress that you start up the habit of stretching early. I mean that you stretch before every workout session, and you might have an active rest day by stretching on rest day. Getting flexible will insanely help in the future when you need the splits for straddles and need flexible wrists to comfortably overload them and so much more. I made the mistake of not starting here, and it is so much harder to build that pattern and achieve some exercises. Because of this, I can't give the best advice for where to start here, but I will just say start with the thing you think you should.
Alright, so without further ado, let's get to the exercises.
Hang on the bar for as long as you can, hold a high plank as long as you can, for legs balance on one leg. And do hollow holds. I do not know how to stress this as much as it needs to be stressed. At first it looks simple, but it is a foundational position for nearly all calisthenics. Do hollow holds with flat back, set timed goals. Once you have 1 minute, hold the bottom position for a minute. Now you should do pumps or a full repetition. For legs, do squats. Do these till you can do 10 reps and you are going solid. Now you have 10 push-ups, maybe 5 pull-ups, and 10 squats. Now you add weight every time you do them, if you have that. Any weight. If not, do explosives. If your first goal is a muscle-up or one-arm pull-up, work more on pull-ups. If your goal is a planche or handstand, work more on push-ups, and eventually pike and then static holds.
If you are the type of person that wants a full hour of dedication to these things, then do that. Do these progressions bit by bit, but don't jump ahead till you can. But if you're busy like most people, like me, do these things all day. A max rep for every hour on the hour. This is how I did it for my level length when I went for the handstand. I trained it for a few kick-ups every hour on the hour, and this is still how I work on my one-arm training. I got my handstand in a year with this training, and that's how you start calisthenics. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and check out my Instagram to see some sneak peeks. Turn on bell notifications so you don't miss my next video. Peace.